This is going to be my second Windows 11 installation today. The first one, I took a computer that had Windows 10 Home with a local user account, successfully upgraded it to Windows 11 Home with a local user account. Was not forced to create a Microsoft account. What I'm going to do now is create installation media, boot the computer on that installation media, delete the existing partition, and do a fresh install of Windows 11 Home and see if I can do it with a local user account. That question has not been answered to my satisfaction yet. The indications are, what we're told is no, that's only going to be for pro and perhaps only in the corporate environment. So here I'm going to switch to the computer. Now this is the computer that actually has Windows 11 Home installed on it. The statistics at the bottom of the screen is just the CPU statistics of my recording computer. I refer to it as my streaming computer. So here I've clicked on the Windows button and I'm going to Edge. I see Edge is also pinned to the taskbar. I could have launched it from there. And then the site that we go to is Windows 11 Installation Assistant. It's remembering that search because I've already done that search on this computer. Windows Media Creation Tool is not the right place to go. That still shows Windows 10. So to install Windows 11 or create installation media, we want the Windows 11 Installation Assistant. I'll click on that link down here, and here's the page. This download now would be for doing an online upgrade. Come down here for the installation media, and down here if you want to actually do it with an ISO image. That would just create an ISO image file on your computer that you would store somewhere. This one is actually going to create the installation media, going straight to the USB memory stick. If you do it this way down here, you're creating the ISO file, then you would have to burn that onto a installation media such as a USB thumb drive. So I'm going to click on this one, download now, and then open file. Do you want to allow this app to make changes? Yes. Now I have not tested this process. I have not been through this process yet. I'm recording it live. This is my experience going through it. Now it looks like it's in the background here, but this menu is in the way. So I'm going to click on the menu button on the taskbar to get that away, and then click on this window to bring it to the front. So that was kind of hiding in the background. Clicking accept. The USB memory stick is already plugged into this computer. Now that memory stick is a little bit strange because it has two partitions on it. So here's English and Edition Windows 11. Looking at the drop-down box, I can't even do that. Use the recommended options for this PC. So if I remove that check mark, what other options can I do? It's still just Windows 11. I could choose other languages. So that removing that check mark really didn't make much of a difference for me. Clicking next. USB flash drive. Now I could choose to do an ISO file here, which would be the same as that other option that was lower on this web page screen. USB flash drive needs at least 8 gigabytes, and this is going to be overriding a portion of that flash drive. So here it's showing the E drive and the F drive, and I'm realizing now I don't remember which partition on there is the one that I have, the old 1909. So I'm going to come down here to File Explorer, take a quick peek at that. Here's the E drive. Yes, that is I recognize those files and folders. So that's the E drive that I want. The F partition is not what I want. So I'm going to do this on the E partition and then click Next. This should wipe out everything that's on that partition, and it's off and running. It didn't give me any warning about that it's going to overwrite what's on that partition. So I'm going to turn off my picture-in-picture. You can grab the playhead with your mouse and drag it forward until you see my picture-in-picture come back on the screen, unless you want to watch that progress counter. There, it finished that to 100%, and now it's going on to the next step, which is verifying your download and giving us another progress graph. Again, I'm going to turn off my picture-in-picture until we get to the next segment. Reaching 99% for creating USB media. Now your USB flash drive is ready. So ready to restart the computer and boot to that USB thumb drive. There was a brief message there. Setup was cleaning up files. So I'm going to give a command to restart the computer. I'm going to turn off that CPU statistics. And here's the power button. It was covered by the CPU statistics of my recording computer. Click on that and then restart. And then as it restarts, I'm tapping the escape key to get to the startup menu. Pretty sure on this computer the F9 key is the boot menu. I could be using that, but I'm not certain. There's the Dell logo. Yeah, that's gone right into Windows. Okay, let's try a different method. Let's try startup options and see what Windows 11 gives us for that. So I'm pressing the Windows key, advanced startup options. There it is, change advanced startup options. See if I can tell it to boot to the USB memory stick. So advanced startup right here. Click restart now. We'll restart your device, so save your work, fine. And this should give me another menu of choices to make. It did not give me the menu of choices that I was expecting. Here it is. Okay, so but this is after the startup. Fine. Use a device. I'll click on that. And then, no, I don't want a network adapter. I want to use the USB memory stick. That's not what I want. Let's see what I get for advanced options. Reset, no. Factory image restored, no. I'm wondering if it has already engaged TPM, which is not allowing me to boot to a memory stick, which indicates that I'm going to have to go into Setup, Startup Settings, change Windows Startup Behavior. No, I want to go into CMOS Setup. Command Prompt, no. System Restart, here. UEFI Firmware Settings. Restart to change UEFI firmware settings, and I'm going to want to disable the secure boot. That's it. Secure boot, enable secure boot mode, expert key management. I'm going to click on secure boot, see if that tells me anything. It does not. On secure boot mode, I've got deployed mode selected. If I go here to enable, secure boot enable. So it looks like it is currently enabled, which is not allowing me to boot to the USB memory stick. Disabling secure boot will reduce system security. Are you sure? Yes. And then apply, save as custom user settings, okay, and exit. So yes, it's less secure, and that's what I want, because I want to be able to boot to the USB memory stick, which would be not allowed under a secure environment. Now I'm trying the escape key to see if I can get the menu, and I'm not. So I'm again going to go for the advanced startup options and see if I can get it to boot from that USB memory stick. I don't know if this computer already had secure boot enabled when I bought it. This is a new computer. Yeah, I'm not sure, it might be a factory remanufactured rather than brand new. It might have been the upgrade to Windows 11 that activated secure boot. I don't know if that's something that a Windows 11 upgrade will do. It could be. So advanced startup. I guess I misspelled advanced. Go back and correct that. Here we go. Change advanced startup options and click restart now. Restart now. So it's my recollection with Windows 10, we would get a list of choices before the computer was actually on the booting side of this operation. But here it actually is restarting. There's the Dell logo, and then it should come into the screen to give us choices. Here we go. I want to use a device. It's already plugged into the computer. And here we go. There's UEFI WDC. Yes, I do believe that is... The memory stick is actually an M.2 board that's inside of an enclosure. So I think that's why that name doesn't look real obvious that it's a thumb drive. This should bring me into the Windows 11 setup screens. Yes, yes indeed. Language English, time and currency English, keyboard US. So click Next, click Install Now. So far that's the same as it would be with Windows 10. I think the color of the screen is different than Windows 10. I'm going to accept the license, click Next. I'm not going to do an upgrade. If I choose upgrade, it's probably going to tell me that I have to boot to a Windows 10 or Windows 11 operating system before I can do an upgrade. This is the same way that it is with Windows 10. I need to choose custom install if I'm wanting to do a fresh install. So here's all the partitions that currently exist. I should be able to just remove this one partition and keep the other partitions that come from the manufacturer. Currently there are how many partitions? Wow. Well, now because the drive 1 is my USB device. So drive 0 is the internal storage drive. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 partitions, including the unpartitioned space. So this 220 gigabytes is obviously the C drive. I'm going to delete just that partition. Click OK. Now those partitions are Windows 11 because I've already done a Windows 11 upgrade on this computer. Then I'm going to select this unallocated space and click Next. So this is accomplishing a fresh install of Windows 11 in this unallocated space. I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture and you can scrub forward to the point that you see my picture-in-picture come back. So here it's restarting. And during that process, I disconnected the Ethernet cable. That's been a technique that we've used for a long time in order to be able to install Windows 10 with a local user account. If the Ethernet cable is connected, it was quite difficult to be able to do a local user account. There's still a way to do it, and I demonstrated it recently on a video. In fact, I think that one was published yesterday. Yeah. Or maybe, oh no, I think it's yet to be published. It's probably going to be published under Tech Tales. Perhaps tomorrow or the next day. That thumb drive is still plugged into the computer, but this should be restarting on the hard drive because I didn't ask for it to restart on the thumb drive. Yeah, that looks pretty promising. Here we go. United States. Yes. Keyboard. US, yes. Add a second keyboard, I'll skip that. And I want to not connect to the internet. You'll need an internet connection to continue setting up your device. Once connected, you'll get the latest features and security updates. So we were told that Windows 11 installation requires an internet connection. And this looks like it is absolutely forcing it here. So it's showing the Ethernet not connected, and it's offering me to connect to a Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the Ethernet cable. That was not a surprise. And here it shows connected. Now this check mark there is okay because I'm not clicking that connect button. Yeah, that's going to be irrelevant. I want to take that off anyway. I just don't like that being there. And then click next. So this is checking for updates. And I think it's feeling kind of doubtful that I'm going to be able to do this without utilizing a Microsoft account. Now, if I do use a Microsoft account, I'm then going to, once we get to Windows 11, try to switch to a local account. Because one of the possible variations I'm thinking of is that I should be able to change it to a local account and not continue signing in with the Microsoft account. For computers that I don't want to be signing in with a Microsoft account. Some of my computers I do. Let's name your PC. Make it yours. Okay, so what I want to call this? I'm going to call it user comp for a computer. I could skip naming it. Then click next. So that was a change from Windows 10. Windows 10 does not give an opportunity to name the computer during the installation of the operating system. So now it's rebooting. Renaming a computer always requires rebooting for that change to take effect. Now let's add a Microsoft account. So it's asking for email, phone, or Skype. You can identify a Microsoft account with any of those. Now the screen just went black on me. That's probably a display driver being installed. So that would be completely normal. Now I do see a back arrow here, and that's the technique that I would use in Windows 10 to not use a Microsoft account. So I'm going to click that back arrow and see what happens. Let's add a Microsoft account. This is the same screen, right? Click that again. It's the same screen. So that didn't do anything. There's a sign-in options here. And choosing next means that you agree Microsoft Services privacy cookies. It's interesting to me that the next button appears to be available even without putting in an account. Clicking sign-in options to see what there is. I can sign in with a security key, or I can say I forgot my username. Click back. I could create an account here, sign in with a security key. There's another black screen. That should be another display adapter update that occurred. Okay, return to the same screen. So the only other variation I see is what happens if I click the next button without putting anything in. It wants in a valid name. Now another technique that I've been able to use in the past is to put in garbage. That would be a way to break out of this cycle on Windows 10. I really don't think I'm going to find a way to do this. Let's try Bill. Oh! It accepted that. What? I typed in Bill and it accepted that. Okay, so password. I'm going to not put a password and sign in. Please enter password for your Microsoft account. So it accepted Bill. I don't have any account by the name of Bill. All right, so I'll let you laugh at this and show the eyeball to show what you typed. I typed password 123. Of course, I wouldn't leave a computer with that password. Click sign in. Oops, something went wrong. Someone has entered an incorrect password for this account too many times. To help protect you, we've temporarily locked your account. Please try again later. Now I have a back button up here. Will it go back to let me put in another account? It will. So that was interesting. So when I put in the word Bill, it can't interpret that as an email. It can't interpret that as a phone number. It could interpret that as a Skype name. Maybe that's what was happening. So I think that's enough. Let's look at learn more. It's probably going to say the same thing. Your account, your data, keep tabs. Not sure if you have a Microsoft account. Okay, nothing there that of redeeming, nothing there of redeeming use. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my Microsoft account. I'm not going to do the eyeball now. Don't even think about it. And create a pin. So the Windows Hello pin. And it doesn't show up as I type. Now, does this need to be numbers or can it be a word? Oh, here, include letters and symbols. So if I type, if I type alphabetic characters, nothing happens. If if I put a check mark here, I can use alphabetic characters. So let's see, I'm going to put in something simple to see if it allows me to do that. Yes, because a pin should be able to be simple, because the pin is just on the computer itself. And I'm going to go ahead and display what I did there. I just did the word user. And of course, I'm not going to leave any computer with that as a pin now that I have published that on YouTube. Now, pin requirements. Let's see what it tells us about that. Must be at least 4 characters. Can't be longer than 127. May include uppercase. May include lowercase. May include digits. May include special characters. Can't be a number pattern. Okay, that's interesting. So it's significant to understand this is not a password. This is a pin. It only applies to this computer. It's a hello pin that applies to this computer only. It's not going to work for any of the computers, and it is not a pin that gets you into your Microsoft account. It will sign in to this computer with your Microsoft account, but I think if you actually try to go to your Microsoft account through a web browser, you're going to have to put in your password or authenticate some other way there, because the PIN should not be adequate for accessing your Microsoft account, except for the computer can use your Microsoft account to be able to sign in. But you should not be able to go to like office.com and access that without further credentials. I have not tested that. Choose privacy settings. Location, find my device. I'm never going to need to find the device. Diagnostic data, I still like to do required only to reduce the amount of network traffic. Inking and typing, that's not going to happen on a tower PC. Tailored experience and advertising ID, I'm okay with those. Click accept. Let's customize your experience. Entertainment, watch videos, browse videos. So these are check boxes I can use. Select the ways you plan to use your device to get personalized tips, ads, recommendations within the Microsoft experiences. You can always change this in settings. I was not asked these questions when I performed the upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. So I'm suspecting what these will do is change the icons that are by default on the desktop and on the taskbar. Gaming, school, creativity, business, track expenses, manage your businesses, chat with customers. I don't want to put any of those. I can skip it. I can't click accept unless I put some check marks, but I can skip all of this. Back up your files with OneDrive. I'm going to say don't back up my files, because I think if I select to do that, it's probably going to bring my currently backed up OneDrive files that are on my account to this computer, and I don't want that. So I'm going to click don't back up my files, click next. I'm adjusting my picture-in-picture there a little bit. Looks like I keep going off the left side of the screen. So this might take a few minutes, so I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture, and when you see, you can scrub forward. When you see that come back on, then go back to play mode. And so here we are at the desktop. It's interesting to me that it looks like the start menu always is open when the Windows 11 desktop arrives. Down here we have my username as it appears on my Microsoft account. So I just put in my email address that's associated with the account, and it pulled this up from the account. Now, if I single left click on that, do I get anything? Yes, I can sign out, change account settings. Then, let's see, change account settings. Really, what's it going to do there? Yeah, okay, this is good. So it shows that I'm logging in with a Microsoft account. Now, can I change it? Here's sign in with a local account instead. So I'll click on that. Are you sure you want to switch to a local account? Windows works better when you sign in with Microsoft. Switching to a local account means you won't see your personalized settings on all your devices. You might be asked to sign in again if you want to access info associated with your account. If you still want to continue, go to the next step to verify your identity. So I have to verify my identity that I am that Microsoft account before I can disassociate it with this computer. And I'm not sure if logging in with a local account is really going to disassociate my account from this computer. So for security, Windows needs to verify your identity. It's asking for a password. This would be my Microsoft account password. Click OK. Now it wants to know a username. And yeah, I guess I'll just leave it as Doug. And then it wants a new password. So this is actually going to be a password. But can I do it as no password? That's something that we were able to do with Windows 10. And I like doing that when I'm doing configuration work. So clicking next. Yes, it let me do it with no password. Sign out and finish. Preparing your local account. So this looks like the lock screen. I'm going to click yes. There's my username. Click sign in. Now I think at this point that PIN number I created is out of the picture. Irrelevant. This time it did not open up with the Windows menu open. I'm pressing the Windows key. Shows down here I have a local user account. Single left click on that. Waiting. Waiting. Change account settings. So local account administrator. Is my Microsoft account at all associated with this computer? Manage my accounts. Let's look at that. I'd have to sign in order to manage accounts. So that doesn't look like it's associated with this computer. System, Bluetooth, network, personalization, apps, accounts, time and language, gaming, accessibility, privacy, and security. So I'm interested in finding the set of choices that are on Windows 10 that could indicate a Microsoft account is associated. Searching Windows, search permissions, diagnostics, inking, typing, speech, general, advertising ID, settings, Windows security. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else there. So then I'm going to go check the profile, user profile. Open up the Windows folder, expand this PC, expand the C drive, expand users. Wow, that's a user account. That's a user profile that's based upon the local user account, not based upon the Microsoft account that I originally set up Windows 11 with. That's a change from Windows 10 because Windows 10, whatever you start with, it would create a user profile folder name based upon that initial credential that you used. So it would be some kind of, I think it would be DougBetts, because that's the username on my Microsoft account. But I don't think it would be just Doug. So that's a good thing. I like that. Then let's take a look at, let's see, where is that? I'm going to try the Windows key advanced, view advanced system settings. This looks familiar. User profiles, settings. So here's user comp, that's the name that I gave to the computer, and it has just the local user account. There is no Microsoft account associated with this computer. I am happy. You could set up, as a technician, you could initialize Windows 11 with your own Microsoft account and then switch to a local user account, and your account is no longer associated. Now, let me see what I can do with, I'm going to go to my Microsoft account and see if I can verify that this computer is not listed in my devices. So to do that, I'll go to office.com. Oh, this is bad. This is already signed in with my Microsoft account. So it has associated my Microsoft account with the browser, with Edge. So changing to local account did not disassociate Edge with my account. So let's see what I can do about that. Here's my account. I want to, if I sign out with my account, I want to remove my profile from Microsoft Edge. But how about before doing that, I'm going to go check and see if this computer is associated with my account. So that is, let's see, I'm going to need to get to my Microsoft account and see what's associated. Yes, I don't want this here. This is weird. What in the world is that? So, and it said that I'm already signed in. That said signed in. Here's devices. And this is the one that we're working with now. So can I disassociate this device? Remove this device. Unlink from your account. Yes. I'm ready to remove this device. And remove. Removing your device. Device removed. So the device is no longer associated with my account. Now I seem to have a generic icon there. Let's come back here. I'm going to refresh this page. See if it's still signed in as me. It is. And then sign out. And then I want to see, can I remove this account? Which account do you want to sign off? Oh, this one. Hang on a moment while we sign you out. You may still be signed into some applications. Close your browser to finish signing out. So I'll close the browser, reopen the browser. I want to remove all evidence of my account. So Microsoft Edge has been updated. Next, let's see, can I bail out of this? Just click through next on these. Not syncing, get started, import your data, no. Discover no features, no. Getting started, no. I just want to bail out of this. What is under my picture-in-picture? Let's turn that off. Nothing there. Okay, I'm going to try closing Edge, relaunch Edge. Yeah, there I've got a generic. Not syncing. Now if I click here, do I see my account? Yes, there's my account. I want to remove that. Browse in kids modes, guest, add profile. I want it to forget that profile. Manage profile settings. How about that? Not syncing, sign out, 3-dot menu, remove. There we go, remove this profile. Removed. There. Now, does that make it clean? My profile does not show up here. Manage profile settings. My profile is not in here. Now, then there is a Windows Credentials Manager. So let me, Windows key and then Credential Manager. See if that has any record of me. Windows credentials, no certificates. There is a credential, Microsoft account. If I expand that, here is a remove, and yes. OneDrive cached credential. That doesn't look like me, but I'm going to remove it anyway. And what's this one? That's not me. That's not me. That's not me. This one's me. Pop user. Remove. Yes. All right. I think that cleans up all elements of my account. Let me right click on OneDrive, see if it offers my account. Settings. Yes, it does. It offers my account there. Unlink this PC. Unlink account. Now it wants to set up OneDrive. I'm going to see if I can turn on taskbar settings for all those icons. Taskbar behaviors, taskbar corner overflow. Yeah, because this is not, it's not the system tray, it's not sys tray, it's not the notification area. Now it's called taskbar corner. So I can turn all these on. I don't see anything there for turning on the display of everything. So I don't get one option for turning on display of all the icons. I have to turn them on individually. Now I no longer have that overflow menu. Close that window. Come back and right click. Again on OneDrive. Look at settings. Be sure there's no residual appearances here of my Microsoft account. Well, then I could also, if I'm not going to use OneDrive, we could remove this check mark to not start OneDrive automatically. If you're not going to use a Microsoft account, no point in using, no point in having OneDrive launch. And then I could right click here, and can I actually close OneDrive? Yes. Close OneDrive. So I think that's pretty clean. I think that's a local account with no Microsoft account associated using a fresh install of Windows 11. You have to use a Microsoft account temporarily, but then you can remove it. That, I don't think I heard anyone speculate on that potential. I'm happy about that. Now that's a quick restart. Looking at the start menu again, local account there. And, oh, that's interesting. Edge is no longer on the taskbar now that I disassociated my account. Open Edge, verify there's no user account for Edge. OneDrive is not there. I'm going to do Windows key, Credential Manager. Make sure there's no evidence of me in there. There's one generic credential still there. Why not remove that too? And what's this one? Pop device. Can I remove that? Are you sure you want to delete this generic credential? I really don't know the significance of having that. If Windows 11 will function without it, then I'll go without it. Now, I'm not against Microsoft accounts. I use them a lot. I have Edge logged in with my account. I have Google logged in with my Google account. I use accounts, but in my client offices, I don't want those. I want to have local user accounts with nothing associated. That's a very fast restart. Okay, I think that's about all the damage I can do with this. So that'll be the end of this video. Conclusion, if you want to have Windows 11 fresh install with a local user account, yes, you can do it, but you have to temporarily use a Microsoft account. Then you can totally disassociate that from the computer. I'm happy with that. All right. I hope this has been useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.